ABW, thanks for stopping in. Today I actually did a gym workout, and it was actually a chest and tricep workout, probably like a 30 to 35 minute workout. And I did it at mostly dumbbells. I don't normally do that. Like I said, I normally do like, some type of calisthenics, and then I'll do at the gym, usually for the most part, a full body workout. But I just figured today I'd switch it up a little bit, and I just did this chest and tricep workout. I probably clocked in at it was probably like a 40-minute workout or so, not counting the warm up. So I went a little longer than I normally do. Who else is there? Anybody else home? I see 6 people there. Identify yourself. So, hey, BW, where are you based out of? Where are you? Are you in the States or? So a little off topic. I stopped for gas today, and I paid the most I ever paid for gas. Excuse me, at $4.89 a gallon. So, which is ridiculous. I can't believe it's come to this. But Ontario. Oh, you're up in Canada. Okay. All right. Well, what's gas doing up there, BW? Same as here? Same nonsense? Because of Putin's gas prices, right? It has nothing to do with Biden himself. It's all Putin. This guy knows nothing about taking responsibility for himself. I don't want to get off on a tear on politics, but this guy is a complete disaster. And if anybody thinks he's running the show or has any clue what's going on, hey, Lanta, how we? I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you finally made one. Oh shit, BW, $2 a liter, man. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable what's going on with this, and there's no reason for it. There's absolutely no reason for it. And then this asshole's, the way to fix it for him is he's telling everybody to go buy an electric car. Well, where does he think that the electricity comes from? How do you generate the electricity, right? Fossil fuels for the most part, unless you have a nuclear plant. You're not generating it all with windmills. It's just unbelievable. And again, this guy has no clue what's going on. He's either there already or he's this close to being home, wearing adult diapers and being spoon-fed applesauce, because he's totally shot. I can't believe it came to this. And what gets me more, again, I don't know why I start talking about politics, but it's just on my mind. But they do these polls, and they say, "Wow, his approval rating is in the tank. It's 37%." But that means that almost 4 out of 10 people are sitting there going, "Yeah, I think this asshole's doing well. I think he's doing a good job. I agree with what he's doing." Those people are even more scary than the people that are in charge. They're all scary, but you ask somebody and you look at what's going on in this country, and really all over the world. But and to think that this guy, to anybody to say, "Yeah, no, he's doing well. He's doing good." I was talking to a friend of mine who has several in work that are like diehard liberals, and they voted for Biden. And he made some remark to them like, "Hey, did you ever think this was going to happen?" Or, And the guy got so pissed off. Like, what are you talking about? He's doing fine. He's doing the best he can, you know? And he's on board with this whole thing. It's Putin's gas hikes. If it wasn't for Putin, we'd be paying $2 a gallon, which is a crock of shit because this guy shut down, you know, all production in this country the day he came into office. So. No, BW, yeah, that's not a, first of all, I mean, if you look at the price tag on electric cars, it's not sustainable. It's just, you can't do it. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, they shut off the spigots like in the middle of a drought. You know, it just makes no sense what they did. Lonta, yeah, I remember you. I remember your comments and all, and I do appreciate you being here, and I always appreciate you watching and commenting. I really do. Where are you based, Lonta? Where do you live? Frankie F, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You know, and this clown is saying that you know, they're going to transition into electric cars. You know, all the government cars, and it's they're not. I don't know what's going on, but it's all being done by design. And not to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it definitely is. Definitely is. Hold on, you're in Virginia. Okay, you're not far. You're not far from me. I'm actually in South Jersey right now, so we're almost neighbors. Jive Cat, appreciate you being here, sir. Hope all is well with you. 140. Where are you, JC? I forget. Where are you based? All right, Lonta, you got it in. What was it? What did you do? Let everybody know what you did today. No, BW, you're right with the cars. They don't have a long range. You know, how far are you going to drive before you have to find a plug? Okay, yeah, JC, I've heard of Bristol. All right. Okay. Well, it's late for you. I appreciate you stopping in, man. Get some rest. Keep grinding. Appreciate you coming, stopping in. Like I said. Wanta, how's the gas down by you in Virginia? Is it any cheaper, or is it pretty much the same? Like I said, I paid like $4.89 today. All right, JC, enjoy. Have a good time. Lonta, that's not light. I mean, that's good work. How are you doing your pull-ups? Are you doing strict body weight? Are you using any assistance bands or anything? Or are you doing full body weight on those? Yeah, Lanta, I mean, as far as to keep your form good, don't be afraid to jump on those assistance bands. Um, because this way you can get just throw even whatever, throw on a light assistance band, and you'll get much better form going. You know what I mean? And it's almost like training wheels. It'll keep you nice and steady with the form. You get a full range of motion, and then once you can get over like 10 or 12, say, solid reps with the band, you either move to a lighter band, or if you're at the lightest band, you just take that off, and then you're good to go. Superhuman. Sarge is in the house. Everybody, you got to check. If you haven't already, check out Superhuman Unchained. Check out his channel, Sarge. This guy is just off the charts. Unbelievable stuff this guy's doing. Unbelievable. Some of the moves, I can't imagine. Strong as a bull. Just his endurance, everything. Check him out. Superhuman Unchained. I appreciate you being here, Sarge. Hope you're doing well. Lanta 445. That's cheap. That's cheap. That's the cheapest I've heard of right now. Did you ever imagine in your lifetime you'd be saying that $4.50 a gallon is cheap? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hey, George. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Okay, Lanta, good. You're getting the bands. Yeah, that I think they're a great tool, definitely. Because you don't want to be, if you get on that bar, you don't want to be kipping, you know what I mean, and going back and forth and swinging just to get your chin over the bar. Um, you want to stay as strict as possible. I mean, I use the bands, you know what I mean, because the pulls are my weakest move, and I think I've said before, I think they're most people's weakest move. So yeah, jump on those bands and just progress with them, and then it'll definitely help you form going forward. Yeah, George, we were discussing the gas prices, and Lanta's down in Virginia. He's paying $4.45, so I'm a little envious of that. I may have to drive to Virginia to fill up my tank. Superhuman. I appreciate the compliments, my man. I really do. I don't know if all that's true, but I just do the best I can. I do the best I can, but definitely watching you is always an inspiration. Always. Yeah, George. You know what it is? It's the initial shock. Um, and people just get almost numb to it and they get accustomed to it. We all sit and bitch about it, but at the end of the day, they have us because what are you going to do? People have to drive. It's not like, well, gas is $4.50 or $5, so I'm not going to work anymore. You're still going to go. I remember, I grew up in a town in Jersey, right over the bridge, the Bayonne Bridge. It leads right into Staten Island. And years ago, I can remember, I believe it was like $4 was the toll at the time. And over the years, every couple of years, it would go up. Now, God, I haven't been in over there in so many years, but the last I remember, it was 14, $16 for a car to go over the bridge. But I remember all through the years, everybody, oh, the bridge went up again. I'm not driving over there anymore. Well, you say that for a week, and then you just pay it. You know what I mean? It's because they have us. What else are you going to do? There's nothing else you can do, you know. Yeah, BW, like I said a couple of minutes ago, you know, I think most people have more difficulty with the pulls, with the pull movement rather than the pushes. Um, so again, like I was saying, Alanta, like don't ever be, you know, I certainly wouldn't hesitate to use those bands. I think they're pretty much the best tool to get you going on that. Brother Derek's in the house. How are you, Derek? Thanks for stopping in. Hope you're doing well. Back at you, Sarge. I appreciate all your support. You're always there. You're always there with a like and a comment, and I do appreciate it. I see it all the time. Yeah, George. I mean, and you're the exception if you're out walking because, you know, people don't like to do that. And I just mentioned the town that I grew up in, Bayonne, which is right across the bridge from Staten Island, New York. And it's not a big town. It's like a mile wide by 3 miles long, but people don't walk. That, you know, if they have 6 blocks to go, they jump in their car. It's just, you know, we're soft is really is the bottom line. No, George, in my lifetime, this is definitely the highest. I remember some years back when Obama was in. I can remember it being in the high threes, like 369, 379, and they were talking about it going to over $4 a gallon. It may have, you know, out in the crazy places like California and stuff, but in Jersey it didn't. It never topped $4 that I can remember. This is definitely the worst that I remember in my lifetime. Yeah, Alanta, like, you know, yeah, I've said before, you know, five, like I said, in I think one of my workouts the other day, you know, 5 or 6 solid reps with good form. You know, give me those rather than 10, you know, sloppy, weak reps of anything any day because you're going to get much more benefit using, you know, the stricter form. Yeah, George, see the pushes, the dips and the push-ups, um, you're definitely you know, like you said, you're always using a lot of shoulder. They're very shoulder intensive when you do those moves. Um, and a couple of weeks ago, I did something with my shoulder, and the pain has kind of been coming and going. Uh, and anytime it comes back, it's always when I'm doing some type of push. I was doing some, as a matter of fact, I was doing dips the other day, and I'm trying to position my body in a way where, you know, I don't feel it. So you're always trying to compensate, but they'll definitely do it if you have any type of shoulder issue. Those dips, you know, are going to do it. BW, the lowest gas that I remember. Um, I used to work for a friend of mine who owned a limousine company, and I drove I drove from Jersey down to New Orleans. It was a Super Bowl. It was Tom Brady's first Super Bowl, whatever year that was, because I actually went to it. I got a ticket right before. But anyway, I was driving down, um, And I can remember specifically that I got gas in Georgia. I stopped in Georgia and it was 98 cents a gallon. Um, that's what I can remember, driving. I'm sure, when I was a kid, I don't remember what the prices were, but I'm sure much lower than that. But actually, going to a gas station and getting gas, the 98 cents was the cheapest I ever remember paying. Yeah, that's a good move, Lanta. I mean, I was always, like I said before, I was always in and out of the gyms, and I never realized or appreciated like the benefits of just pure body weight work. And people ask me, and I think most people don't believe it, that they think that you have to be in the gym lifting crazy amount of weight, um, but you really don't. It doesn't matter what you're lifting; it's resistance. And if you're lifting your body, and you look at some of the strong, gymnasts are one of the biggest examples. You know, these guys are doing those iron crosses and all these crazy moves, and the physiques on those guys, on gymnasts, unbelievable. I, from what I understand, they do some of their training. They do incorporate some weight training, but I would have to think that the vast majority of it is all body weight. So George, I mentioned earlier that I did a chest and tricep workout with some dumbbells. I'll probably post it tomorrow. Um, like I said, I normally do like a full body thing, but I just decided to do a chest and tricep thing. Probably like a 35, 40-minute workout. Lanta, what type of workouts did you do at the gym? What were you into the compound lifts, like the big stuff, the deadlifts and the squats, or you just basically all over the place? Yeah, George, they do have some physiques, those guys. They really do. And it's a different type of strength. I always say, like, I don't believe that the calisthenics and the weight training necessarily like translate over, because if you have a guy that could do 100 push-ups unbroken, uh, and you put him on a bench in the gym, that doesn't mean he's going to be able to bench 300 pounds. And if you take a guy that's benching 300 pounds, he may get on the floor and he may drop after 20 push-ups. You know what I mean? So um, it doesn't always translate. It's a different type of fitness, I think. I think the calisthenics is way, way, way more functional, which is uh, which is what I think we should be looking for as we get older. George, yeah, the rings are a good thing to have in your arsenal. Definitely, definitely. They're definitely more challenging because like I said before, you have to control them from moving side to side, back and forth. So you definitely have that stability factor that you have to take care of, and that brings a different level of strength into it. Yeah, a lot. That's yeah. Well, yeah. In the beginning, you always run for the machine. That's why I always say too. Like a lot of people, they join a gym, and they're just intimidated. Walking into the place. And what do most people do? They look right for a treadmill, and they run right to the treadmill and jump on there and they start walking. Because they're just intimidated to go over by the weights. And I told a story about how I got started at the YMCA in my town. Um, I got my first membership, and it was a gym, and most of the guys in there were these power lifters. They had those leather belts on, and they were in there squatting, and I mean, just massive amounts of weight. Like these guys were literally benching. Some of them, when I got to know them, were, doing 450, 500 on a regular basis. But the first time I walked into the gym, these guys were in there, and they're pounding weights and they're doing this. I got so intimidated, like I looked around as if I was looking for somebody, and they weren't there. And then I just walked out. And then, that was a day or two later, I went back, and there was a guy there, this big guy Barry. He looked like a power lifter, and he used to take care of the gym. He was like the caretaker. So I just got up the nerve to walk up to him, and I started asking him questions. Hey, I want to do this. I want to do that. And the guy couldn't have been friendlier. And you know, we became friends, and I used to go all the time. And anytime I had a question, I would, hey Barry, how do I do this? What should I work to do this? And he showed me the exercises. And a lot of guys in gyms are like that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys I would never take advice from, but you'd be surprised if you just walk up to somebody and strike up a conversation. Or just if you see somebody doing an exercise and, hey, what is that for? How do you do that? Most people are more than happy, to help you out. So yeah, that's it too, Lonta, with the dumbbells. Um, that's pretty much all I work with now too, is the dumbbells and the machines. I kind of went in reverse. In the beginning, I started with the barbells and stuff. Um, but and especially if you're by yourself, I have a little setup in my garage, and for a stretch of time, that's what I did. I just worked out in my garage, and you definitely don't want to be under a bar, when you're by yourself. So the dumbbells are a good. If things go south, all you have to do is open your hand and drop them. Hopefully not when they're over your head, but off to the side. So the dumbbells are always a good option. Yeah, Derek, I agree. The calisthenics are without a doubt more functional fitness. Um, and yeah, you're going to build that strength foundation with those compound lifts and the weights. But again, and in the rings, again, they add like that other. That's like another level to things. You know what I mean? Doing push-ups on those, uh, doing the inverted rows, and just anything you could. They're real versatile, and they're definitely good to. And for what, $20? I mean, it's good to have. You could use them anywhere. You can use them at the gym. You could use them in the park. Yeah, Lanta, that's good. That's good that you like that. And to be honest with you, like there have been times where I've seen people um, doing something blatantly wrong, like to the point where you say, Jesus, this guy's going to hurt himself. Um, but then you're kind of hesitant too, because, I don't, I'm hesitant to walk up to somebody and say, hey, you're doing that wrong. Let me show you how to do it. Because he might say, no, I'm not. I'm doing just fine. I mean, I would never, ever hesitate to help somebody if they asked. Um, but as far as approaching people on my own, that they'd have to really be doing something crazy. BW, I missed that about the t-shirts. I don't know if you've asked me about that before, but I've actually had a few requests for shirts. Um, I guess somewhere down the line, I've had that many requests that I guess I could, I'd be more than happy to get them out. Just have to find a way to do it. But I'll definitely, if and when I do it, I'll definitely let everybody know. I appreciate you even asking. Yeah, Derek. I agree. Like, I'm a big fan of doing a little bit of everything. The old, jack of all trades, master of none. Like, try everything. You know what I mean? Because every little bit helps. Um, to just be like laser focused on one thing. I mean, and there are people that do that. You have guys that are like, strictly power lifters. Um, I was in a gym the other day, and there was one section where all the racks were, and there were a couple of guys squatting, and there were these three women together, and they were squatting, and you could tell like they were hardcore. They weren't just like housewives, that come and jump on the elliptical for 15 minutes and then drink a gallon of water. Like these girls were like serious hardcore stuff. So there are people that just you know and you could tell, you look at some people and you don't imagine them out in the park, doing dips and pull-ups and squats and stuff like that, the body weight squats. But you know, I think that doing a little bit of everything, I think you could benefit from all of it. But you just have to find a way to schedule it and do. Today I'm going to do calisthenics. Today I'm going to hit the weights, which is pretty much what I do. Um, I'm not as I'm always envious of some of these guys in the gym they have the marble notebook and you could tell they're writing down every set, every rep, and what workout they did. I was never that guy. Um, I just think, well, what did I do yesterday? Okay, well, today I'll try this, um, or what did I do yesterday? Maybe today I'll go to the gym, and then it gets to the point I don't feel like going to the gym. So I'm in the garage with the dumbbells, or, I'll just do some push ups and pull ups in the garage. So you improvise, but yeah, definitely you have to mix it up. You have to do a little bit of everything. Yeah, George, that's to my point. You know what I mean? You look at somebody and you say, and you know for a fact, like this guy or this, they don't know what they're doing and they might get hurt themselves. But you have that oddball where if you approach them, some people might invite the advice and say, "Hey, thanks, I appreciate it." But then you're going to get that oddball that's going to go, well, "Who the hell do you think you are? Don't tell me what to do. I know what I'm doing." Okay, pal. Go ahead. George, I got you on the list for the shirts if and when, definitely. Yeah, George. I mean, I'm not gonna, if somebody came up to me and decided, they wanted to give me some advice or thought that they were giving me something that was helpful, I'd probably just listen to them. And you know, if I thought they were off base, I'd say, "Hey, thanks, I appreciate it." Go. You know, there's no sense in, if somebody's going to do that, if somebody's going to take the time to approach you and say something like that, I guess they really believe that what they're saying is right. Why shoot them down? Just thank them and go on your way. And maybe they're telling you something you can use. So it's even better. Yeah, Lanta, a little bit of everything. I think that's the formula. I definitely think that's the formula. A little of this and a little of that, and it just helps with your overall conditioning. You know, like I said, just to be focused on one thing. And you could say that about anything. People, everything in life isn't just one way. You know what I mean? There's never ever one way to do things in life. Always an alternative. Especially, you're talking about fitness, and we could talk about diet, which is a rabbit hole. I don't know if we want to cut down that one, but everybody's got their opinion on diet, and I see it all the time online. How do I lose weight? How do I do this? And then, you'll get the guy on Facebook or the woman on Facebook. All you have to do is eat this. That's not all you have to do. You know what I mean? It's specific to everybody. So that's a tough one. You can't, I've said it before, this guy eats this. That doesn't mean that you could eat. Maybe you could, but we all react differently to different foods. We all have different things going on in our bodies. So the food thing is definitely trial and error, but there's no one way. There's definitely no one way. I can't stand that people that are married to just like one, they're so dogmatic, like, no, this is the way it has to be. This is the way you should eat, for an example, vegans, and people that are carnivore. And I'm not saying that any of that doesn't work to some degree for different conditions, different people. Again, everybody's different. Everybody's physiology is different. But to say that this is the only way to do it, you have to be, this is the way to eat, and you're going to be healthy. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Yeah, BW. The guys over in New York City, I mean, they're lucky because every borough in New York they have parks all over the place. Calisthenics parks, and no matter where you go. Um, Jersey, it's sporadic where I am. Um, I don't have one near me that I don't have to. Any park near me, I have to drive to. Um, there's some nice ones, but it's definitely, you know, it's not like being in New York. We could hop on a subway and be there in 10 minutes. Um, but I don't get that. There's a lot of parks too where I go, and that's what they have. They'll have like the kiddie playgrounds. Um, and then the other thing I don't like is a lot of these parks. What they'll do is they'll put in like a walking path, whether it's a mile or three-quarter around the park, and then they'll put these little stations, and it'll be ridiculous stuff like a bar, and then the next one will just be like a 4x4, like this is a stretching station, and it's stuff that nobody ever uses, you know. So I wish more towns would do it, and I don't think at the end of the day it's a huge expense for them, you know. Wanta, that's the ticket right there to yoga. That's the fountain of youth. If you could do that regularly, and people think that's not a workout, yoga. They think it's like a ladies thing to do, and it's not. You don't get benefits from that. But I've taken some yoga classes, and you're in a flop sweat in no time. That's serious stuff. A lot of those yoga poses and stuff, and it takes a lot of strength. And you become extremely, like anything, as long as you do it consistently, you're going to become extremely flexible with that. Yeah, that's a good word, Derek. It is humbling. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And that's the, you know, and even I know in my younger days, I never really stretched. I never put any credence in, oh, I have to stretch. You know, my stretch was jumping on the bench with 245s, like, you know, at 135 and doing like 10 or 15 reps, and then just swinging my arms a couple of times. And okay, I'm warmed up. You know, now I always do some type of warm up. I'm big on the jump rope now. I have that weighted jump rope that you've seen me with in some of the videos, that red jump rope, which I like a lot. So I try and get some reps in with that. And then if I'm at the gym, I like the elliptical. Treadmill's too boring. So I'll do like the elliptical. Jumping jacks, just anything to move around, you know, for 5 or 10 minutes, you know, to grease the wheels before I start moving. Blessed Tones in the house. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Yeah, they are. You're exactly right, George. I liken it to, like, I always say, like, if you take like a balloon, like a small balloon, like a brand new balloon out of the bag, and you try to blow it up, a lot of times you pop it because it's so tight. But then if you blow it up, let the air out, blow it up again, you know how to, and then they start just loosening up. It's kind of like the same principles with your muscles and tendons and ligaments and everything. You definitely have to warm up. You definitely have to warm up to some degree. Yeah, I had never used the weighted rope before, Derek, but they actually, the one I have is 1.5 pounds. I think I mentioned that before. Um, but they start going. I know they have. I think 3. I saw a 5 pound one. I'd like to give that a shot, but that I think that would be more humbling than yoga. Trying to jump the 5 pound rope. Maybe I'll have to give that a shot. Maybe I'll try the 3 first and work my way up. Blessed Home. Are you asking me my pre-workout formula? Nothing. Coffee. I think any pre-workout, and I mean any pre-workout is nothing but a can of shit. It's a waste of money. The main ingredient in any uh, pre-workout is going to be caffeine. That's where you're going to get your energy from, or a bunch of sugar. And then a lot of the, you know, any ones that say that they have no sugar, they're going to have a sweetener in there, and sweeteners are just as bad. So I haven't taken a pre-workout in years. I wouldn't. I don't. I won't. And I think they're just shit. I really do. I think they're a waste of money. As a matter of fact, you bring that up. I was watching another guy today. I was watching another YouTube channel, and the guy was going over, these are the supplements that I take basically. This is something that I've never heard of. Actually, let me just look. I don't know if any of you guys ever heard of this. I'm actually going to try and share my screen right now if I could do it, because BT, you brought this up, so I'm going to try and do this. Just bear with me, guys. Let me just see if I can do this. All right. I'm hoping you could see this, but this is called carbolin. I think I'm saying it right. So the guy was touting this. He said, "This is my go-to. This is my go-to pre-workout. I take it while I'm working out, and all it is a jug of sugar. It's from rice, corn. What was it? Rice, corn, and what the hell was the other one? There was one other one in there. I forget what the hell it was. I'll think of it. But anyway, this is it's a complete waste of money. What is it for $48 a can? And all you're doing is drinking sugar powder. That's all it is sugar powder. Um, and I'm reading the reviews on it. People saying, "Wow, this is the best stuff." Uh, I get so much energy from it. You're just drinking sugar. That's all you're doing at the end of the day. Um, so yeah, so it's stuff like this that I steer clear of because and they have one here. They call it neutral, which is just basically the sugar powder. But anything you see here after that, there's all these flavors and stuff. It's all going to be dyes, artificial flavor. Um, this one actually has Splenda in it, the sucralose, which is no good. It's just junk. It's just junk, and it's a waste of money. So I think I'm back now. Lonta, yeah, that's good. The jumping jacks, jump rope, burpees, anything just to get. You want to get that heart rate up, and you just want to warm up the muscles. And it doesn't take much. 5-10 minutes. It's not a big deal. Yeah, George, I don't know. I don't know why they don't stress the stretching part. I really don't. I've seen that too. I've been in gyms where they have their trainers, their in-house trainers, and I see people come in. I mean, for the most part, they may make them walk on a treadmill for, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, but doing like a full body stretch or just dynamic stretching, shoulder rolls and everything else, whatever, like Lonta said, jumping jacks, jump rope. They don't teach that stuff. They don't have people do that. Yeah, BW, the 5 pound rope, you'll get the pop by forearms. And you'll get some sore toes too if you miss at the bottom and that thing hits your foot. Derek, that's me, just the coffee. I just have the coffee. Lanta, we gotta get you off those pre-workouts. We definitely have to get you off those. Just the price tag on those. $30-$40 for a can. Yeah, BT, back in the sometime back I did try oh shit, I don't remember the name of it, but it was some type of beet powder. And to be honest with you, I didn't notice anything from it that I recall. I tried it once. I bought a can of it, and I don't even think I ever finished it. So I don't know if it was the brand or whatever, but I just didn't find any benefit in it. So, and again, it was, I don't remember, but I'm sure it was pricey, at $30 a can, give or take. Those things don't come cheap, and again, you're not getting the main ingredient is caffeine in any of them. Well, not the beet, but I'm talking about the mainstream pre-workouts and stuff. George, the supplements are, and yeah, the meal replacements, huge money makers. And what I say to people all the time, the other thing too is with these supplement companies, they're not regulated. You don't know what you get, any type of supplement, be it a vitamin or anything, any type of other supplement. Um, they can make all these claims and tell you it's this, it's that. If you got a lot of those things tested like independently, there's nowhere near what they say is in there, and it could be different ingredients. It's like Wild West City. They do whatever they want because they're not regulated, and they prey on people's insecurity. Like all guys want to get bigger. They go to the gym because they want to get big. You know what I mean? And they put the pictures of the guys, and you know, they're selling a fantasy. They're not selling reality, but people buy into it because everybody wants the quick fix. Everybody wants the easy way, you know. Yeah, I mean, you know, they'll put creatine in there. Uh, they'll put citrulline. You know, there are some other, but what I'm saying is when they say energy, okay, that's coming from caffeine, and any boost that you get is going to come from caffeine. Um, the other ingredients, the citrulline, and you know, the creatine costs nothing. It's almost free. It's so cheap. It's almost like they're paying you to take it. And creatine is the safest, most studied supplement on the planet. And plain creatine monohydrate powder, you can get some benefit from it. So why not spend 10, 15 bucks on that? You know, you could buy a bag of that that's going to last you for 6 months. Take some creatine, drink your coffee, and that's it, you know. And again, all of these pre-workouts, they have the flavors. They're going to have some type of dye, the red dye number 5, the blue dye number whatever, which you don't need in your body. They're going to have if it doesn't have a ton of sugar, then it's going to have some type of sweetener, and those sweeteners are poison. They're no good. They're really no good. So, Lanta, I was really happy that you stopped in today, and I don't mean to yell at you. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just trying to bucket off the pre-workouts. Yeah, Derek, that's just it. You don't know. You don't know what they're actually putting in there, you know, unless you take that can and have it tested at an independent lab. That's the only way you're ever going to find out. See, George, you know, even that, just what you said, this guy, to be honest with you, everything, all the shit they sell, these pre-workouts should come with a biohazard symbol on them. They really should. But yeah, you don't know what you're buying. But there again, you know, these people are buying it the black market, you know, and they think they're getting something good. But again, it's everybody's insecurities and it's just wanting the quick fix. It's wanting to get the results without putting the work in. It's human nature. It's human nature. Biohazard symbol. Jesus Christ. And they'll put that in their body. You know what I mean? I was talking to a guy, struck up with a conversation with a guy at my gym a few weeks back. Really nice guy. I had been seeing him there for some time. But anyway, long story short, he was paying a coach, a bodybuilding coach. Um, and he didn't have him on a ton of supplements, but just the advice that he was giving him was so far off base. Um, he's a relatively big guy. He does a lot of the compounds, so he's looking for size and the whole thing. But then he started to cut several months back. And I've talked about this before too, about when you eat, it's not good. So he wants to cut. So he's now on a calorie deficit, right? Because you have to be on a deficit if you want to cut. But if you take that food, if you're on a calorie deficit and you break it up over the day to 5, 6 meals a day, which this guy had him doing, it's not good for you. It's catabolic. Okay. Like I said, you better serve taking those and have 1 or 2 meals a day. You could eat the exact same macros, the exact same amount of food, but just compress it rather than spread it out, 5 or 6 times a day. He had him having a whey protein shake with a bowl of oatmeal at 11 o'clock at night, right? Just bizarre stuff that doesn't work, that's unhealthy. But he was paying this guy all sorts of money, thinking he was getting good advice. And he wasn't getting, the results. And the guy just kept on, no, keep doing it. Everything's going to work out. Thankfully, he fired the guy, and now he hired somebody else. So we'll see how things work out. George, people don't even sell their health; they just give it away. It's the most precious thing on earth is your health, and people give it away for nothing. They give it away for nothing. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I've talked about this before, how people, I mentioned, I don't know if I did it in a video or a live, but I was training this one girl. She was a young girl, 29, and she was looking to lose some weight, which she didn't have really much to lose. But anyway, she was chugging diet sodas by the gallon every day and eating fast food. And when I said to her, you have to knock that out. You can't be doing that. It's not good for your insides. And she just made that gesture. I'm not worried about the inside. I'm worried about how I look on the outside. So it's unbelievable. How people, they don't even sell it. They don't sell their health, George. They give it away for free. BT, are you saying EVO plus lemon as a pre-workout? That one's new to me. I never heard that. BW, you're right. We are what we and that's why 3/4 of us are walking around the shape of a donut. It's really bad. I mean, it really is bad. But and I beat this drum pretty heavy all the time too about how it's addictive. They know it. They talk about pandemics. The real pandemic is people eating themselves to death. The food addiction. Yeah, he's going to pay the price, George. He's going to pay the price at some point. It's going to come. You reap what you sow. That's one rule of life. That's one law of nature that nobody can get around. Nobody, not one of us. He's going to pay the price. BT, I will look that up. That's a new one to me. I'm definitely going to check that out. It's 2 good ingredients. I mean, neither one is going to hurt you. The olive oil or the lemon, it's 2 healthy ingredients there, but I've never heard it being used as a pre-workout. But they both are going to give you, if they don't work as a pre-workout, they're going to have some other benefit for your body for sure. The lemon's always good for your liver. Lanta, yeah, there are people, and that's why Oh man, what's the guy's name? I think he plays for Seattle. Uh, Shit, his name's escaping me now. I don't know if he's a defensive back. The guy they were just talking about, the NFL player. I believe he plays for Seattle, and he talked about how he eats candy. He does OMAD. He does one meal a day, and then the rest of the day he just eats candy. But again, he looks like he's put together with a blowtorch. You know what I mean? Like he's got a perfect physique. And this friend of mine who's a mess. He doesn't want to stop drinking. He doesn't want to stop eating. As soon as he saw that, well, look at him. Look, what are you talking about? I don't have to eat like you say. Look at this guy. He's eating candy and he looks good. But I read a little bit more about that. Jesus, I can't. If somebody knows the guy's name, uh, yes, thanks, Derek. Yeah, yeah. That's exactly who it is with his candy diet. And this friend, and he's just busting my chops because I try to get him. Actually, I can't even say I try to get him to change because I'm just tired of it. Like it's really draining to talk to people sometimes. And the reason why it's again because of the addiction. And this guy loves his whiskey. He's drinking whiskey at night, and he doesn't want to change. And he's not going to change. But so he's got his stupid confirmation bias, and everything he sees that agrees with what he's thinking, he throws it in my. Look at this guy, and look at that guy, and this guy, drinks whiskey all the time. And all right, you keep drinking your whiskey too, and see how things pan out. Well, BW. So getting back to that, to Metcalf, they showed his transformation from, I believe it was from high school to college. It didn't look like a natural transformation. I can't make that claim. Who knows? And really, at the end of the day, who cares? But trust me, this guy had training. They're afforded the best medical care. He didn't get to where he is eating candy. Whatever he's doing now, God only knows. But there was talk. What I was reading, he had a personal chef, and he was brought along the right way. So. Yeah, Derek, he will. Who's to say that what he's saying is even the truth? But if it is, he's going to pay for it. He's going to pay for it. But again, talking about human nature, we don't generally look at the grand scheme. We look at what's right in front of us right now. I just ate 3 bags of candies and uh, I, I'm fine. I'm not overweight, but it's compound interest. It's going to go, and over time, you will pay the price. There's going to be there's consequences for everything in life. It's like the people that smoke 4 packs a day, and then when they're on their deathbed, they're telling people, "Whatever you do, don't ever smoke." Well, you should have thought of that 40 years ago. Yeah, Lanta, some of us, not all of us, hit the genetic lottery. It's just luck of the draw. But you can't. It gets back to the point I made way earlier. You can't look at somebody else and say, "Well, if he's eating candy, I can eat candy too and still look like that." Just find what works for you. You know what I mean? And candy, I can guarantee, isn't going to work for you in the long run. Like I said, you may eat candy for the next 6 months and you say, well, I'm perfectly fine. But you won't be after a while. It's going to catch up with you. No doubt. Derek, what kind of fast do you do? what do you typically do? Do you just like, you do a long fast periodically, or you do intermittent, like on a regular basis? No, BW, addiction is a tough thing. Any type of addiction, and it's not a matter of just telling people, "Well, just stop it," because there's a physical part to it. There's a psychological part to it. So it's not that cut and dry. There's no such thing as just telling people, grow up and knock the shit off, and just do the right thing. It doesn't work that way. Lanta, I do appreciate you being here. It was good talking to you, and stay safe, get your reps, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Stay safe. Have a good night. All right, so you do a 72 once a month. That's excellent. Um, Derek, when you're on those extendeds, do you use the salts, or when you say plain water, you just doing, you're not adding anything to it? Are you adding any potassium or sodium, magnesium, anything like that? Any of the electrolytes? BT, don't tell me about us older folks. I'm one of those older folks. I need my sleep too. I definitely need my sleep. Okay, so you're just doing the water, and you feel good. I guess you feel good doing that. Are you doing any, when you do the 3 day? You doing any activity, any workouts, or you just laying low for that time? I would assume the 6 and 7 day you're definitely going to lay low, but do you do anything with the 3 days? BT, you saying I travel a lot? Um, no, not so much. Um, this week I went down to South Jersey to see my daughter, spend a little time with her. I don't get to see her too much. She's a couple hours away from me now, so. But I told her with the gas prices, it's going to be a while before I come back anyway. So that's why I wanted to extend the stay a little bit. All right. Sounds like you got it going then, Derek. That's good. Those long fasts are great. I'm sure I guess you read up on the whole autophagy thing and stuff, so that's great. A lot of health benefits to do with the fasting, but everybody looks at it like, I told a story about a friend of mine who was trying to lose some weight, and I suggested, just trying to ease into some fasting, just even with like a 16-8 schedule. And couldn't skip breakfast. No, I can't do that. I said, well, just wait till 12 noon. No, I have to eat at 9 or 10 when I wake up. And was adamant about it and wouldn't do it. I said, well, why can't you do it? Why can't you just skip breakfast? Because I'm too hungry. I'm not hungry in the morning. I can't do it. So, yep. Autophagy, the growth hormones. Yeah. And I think I mentioned that when I did that video about the testosterone, with the testosterone following the growth hormone. So again, there's so much benefit to that. You're doing great with that. Congrats on that. Good for you. Keep it up. BT Mike Cola, is he a YouTube guy? Never heard of him. And Derek, there was another. I just read something the other day too, about the autophagy. It was a Japanese guy, right? He won I think he won the Nobel Prize, and they only started talking about the autophagy thing a couple of years back, and I believe the guy won the Nobel Prize for it. But now there was something that just came out. I'd be lying if I told you exactly, but they're saying that not only the fasting, but exercise also promotes the autophagy. So, I mean, if you're into the, just look that up. It's very recent that it came out. I saw it like in the past couple of weeks. I saw something about it. But they're saying that, not only the fasting, but regular exercise will help with the autophagy too. That promotes that. All right, BW. Thanks for being here, my friend. I'll talk to you soon. And like I said, you're on the top of the list when the shirts come out, if and when the shirts come out. BT, do I warm up prior to working out? Yes, all the time. All the time. I can't afford not to. I'm old and brittle and stove up, so I don't want to take any chances. But yeah, I always warm up. I do something, even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But I definitely always do. BT, I'll check that guy out. Mike Cole, you say he's a YouTube guy. Is he a fitness guy, or what's his story? What's his expertise, or what? All right, guys. It's getting late on my end too. I think I'm going to wrap it up for the night. I don't think I missed anybody's comments or questions, so I think we'll call it a night. I appreciate everybody being here. Everybody have a good night. Thanks again for always watching and commenting. I appreciate it. And I will talk to everybody soon. Okay? Have a good night.